here, but we look at the playoff odds here. The latest playoff probabilities for the Golden State Warriors. How about this, Fezzy Phil? Last Friday night against Sacramento, they had a 7.6% chance to get the 6th seed. That's risen up to over 24%. And with the win today, they may be inching closer to 30% to getting that 6th seed and avoiding the play-in altogether. But you look at the box, the Warriors, basically, they're not going to be out of the box. They're going to be in the box at some point, so they will get at least one extra game in the regular season, but they're hoping to get up to 6 and higher.
I wonder how many people who were voting right there were listening to the Draymond Green podcast. That's what I want to know first. Second, it sounds like everyone right now is starting to buy into the Warriors. I remember earlier in the season, there was a 7-game road trip. And with that, I said they were going to go 5-2 at the time. And everybody looked at me like, wow. Now you just heard Dalton and KB gave the possibility of them going 5-0 on this road trip. It sounds like people are buying into the way the Warriors are playing. They're playing well defensively. Offensively, I love the fact that Brandon Pajemski, Quentin Post, Moses Moody, I got to give a shout out to all the role players on the Warriors because not only are they playing well when Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are playing together, but when they're playing separately, these guys are carrying the load offensively. They're carrying their own weight. They're coming out defensively, getting all the stops, getting loose balls, rebounding. Guy Santos has been phenomenal so far.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything we heard or the votes. I think it's what we're watching. We're watching incredible basketball, offensive and defense connection. I think their half-court offense, because of Jimmy Butler, has really helped their defense, especially at transition defense. The efficiency offensively, how many times we're watching Pods, Moody, Draymond wide open, whether it be layups or open jump shots. So this team has changed drastically. And, you know, to me, Bonte, the standings are a progress report. It helps you see where you stand and keeps the hope. But the way they're playing is what is the real threat.
So that graphic there, mathematical probabilities, not a vote, just simple math here. Maybe somebody who graduated from Vanderbilt. Who knows? So the chances, playoff odds, all that stuff. Not necessarily plus minus.
But you can feel it and you can see it.
No doubt about that.
Energy's changing.
No doubt. The energy is changing. And we're going to do some stock watching here. We're going to do some buying and selling. Warrior stock has been rising fast lately. But what about the rest of the Western Conference? We'll break it all down for you next on Warriors Pregame Live.
War Casino.
All right, Warriors getting ready to take on the Orlando Magic. Remember, they've lost 5 of 6 in Orlando, but they did win last year to snap that 5-game losing streak. Let's take a look at the Western Conference standings where the Warriors are rising, tied with Minnesota in the loss column. They also own a tiebreaker against Minnesota. They've won 3 of 4 against the T-Wolves. Dallas Mavericks, they're taking on the Charlotte Hornets tonight. I might as well just put a win in that column. The Charlotte Hornets aren't trying to beat anybody. They look awful. But you see the Clippers holding on to that 6th spot, a game up on the Golden State Warriors. However, they own the tiebreaker over the Dubs, so the Dubs will need to finish a game above the Clippers. They want to finish higher in the Western Conference standings, but I want to make you guys some money out there. Like Jim Cramer, I'm looking out for the people.
Wow.
Mully and Fezzy Phil. We're going to do some stock watch here. We're going to buy, we're going to sell, and folks at home, take notes. We're going to start with the LA Clippers, who right now are holding down the 6th spot here. Fellas, are you going to buy and sell the Clippers? They're 4-6 in their last 10. They are fading. I have no idea when Kawhi Leonard's going to play a basketball game. James Harden is doing his thing, but something seems a little funky down there in L.A. with the other team, the L.A. Clippers. I'll start with you, Fezzy Phil. You buying or selling the Clippers as a true threat in the Western Conference?
I am selling, Bonte. They have done an incredible job this season so far. The 4th in the standing, you said. Well, Zubac has been playing incredible. James Harden, obviously, trying to carry the load while Kawhi Leonard was hurt. Norman Powell should have been the all-star this season, but it's really hard to build consistency. That's what the playoffs is about. You need consistency so you can go out and beat teams. I think I'm selling on this team.
I'm buying. Playoffs are all about matchups.
Ooh.
I think Kawhi Leonard gets healthy. They have an incredible roster. They got great coaching. I think they got mismatches across the board. They have bigs and Zubats. I love the James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and who's the
Norman
guy?
Powell.
Norman Powell. I like those 3 guys together. They got vets. I think in the playoffs, they're a big-time threat.
Bogdanovich coming off their bench.
You're saying if he is healthy.
If he is healthy, that's a big if.
He hasn't been healthy all season long, and it's really hard to get healthy when you're in the playoffs in those crucial moments.
Make it an L.A. series in the first round, a 6-3 seed.
Right.
L.A. Lakers, L.A. Clippers.
You're selling twice, or you
selling twice? I'm with Fezzy. I'm selling it. I'm selling it, folks. Sell.
See you in the playoffs. See you in the playoffs.
I'm selling them. How about the Houston Rockets? Great story with Ime Udoka. Right now, 37-22. They're struggling, though. 5-5 in their last 10. They have a problem with shooting. Dylan Brooks, we like him. We like Jalen Green, young budding superstar. It's a nice young roster, athletic. Amen Thompson, of course, dropping triple doubles left and right. Mully, are you buying the Rockets as a threat in the West that makes a noise? Sell.
You just said about they're too young and they can't shoot. Those two things will kill you in the playoffs. They need experience that they're going to maintain their seed. But I think every team, including the box teams, they are dying to play the Houston Rockets in the first round. Salivating, exactly. They want to play this team. I think it's an up-and-coming team, but not this year.
A year away. I'm with you, Bully. What about you, Fezzi?
I got to sell on the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are young. They're athletic. You have Amen Thompson, who we highlight a lot. He's going to be one of the youngest players to make the all-defensive team. Like, they're young. They're very talented. Jalen Green, Operation Shengun being an all-star. But this team is a superstar away from being a legit threat in the playoffs.
You can say it. They can't shoot. You're allowed to say that.
No, I talk defense. I'll let you talk.
Folks at home, we always love selling on the Houston Rockets. I know Dub Nation will approve of that. Sell on the Rockets. But how about those Lakers? The LA Lakers are rolling right now. They're 8-2 in the last 10. They smoked the Denver Nuggets last Saturday night, and they have a Luka problem.
Can we say it in unison? Can we say it in unison?
No.
What do you
Buy. I'm buying the Lakers as a true threat. I think this could be a finals
I'll wait
team.
I'll wait my turn.
You'll wait your turn. What about you, Fezzi Fell? You buying on Austin Reeves, Luka,
on the
LeBron?
Lakers. You got two playmakers, and Mully just said it perfectly. It is about matchups. How do you stop both Luka Doncic and LeBron James? It's really hard. This team they're going to keep figuring it out. Luka hasn't even played a Luka game yet. You saw him have a triple-double against the Dallas Mavericks, and you didn't see the Luka that we know that had a 40-point triple-double against the Warriors. So this is a team that still have a few pieces. They need a big man. I think they need a big in the paint, a guy that can really be a threat in the middle of the paint. But I think this is a tough team. It'll be a tough team.
Would it shock you if they were in the finals, Fezzi?
It would not shock me because they have two big superstars. But, man, it would be a really big turnaround for them as well.
This team, similar to the Warriors, has had a huge turnaround, and ironically, on the defensive end. Now, I'm buying the Lakers. I'm not buying the Lakers because of LeBron and Luka Doncic's defense. But as a team, they're playing great team defense. Their numbers are legit defensively. And when you have two players like LeBron and Luka Doncic, there's been three players in the history of the league that averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Luka, LeBron, and Oscar Robertson. So they have two on the same team. As I mentioned earlier, the players are all about matchups. You got two players that can create offense for their teammates, and two superstars of LeBron and Luka. I'm buying the Lakers.
And Austin Reeves is a hell of a third wheel. He's playing some good basketball. So we're selling the Clippers, we're selling the Rockets, and we're buying the LA Lakers. Actually, Fezzi, he's still buying the Clippers. Bully and I were on the same page there. Actually, Bully's buying the Clippers.
He's buying
Fezzi
the Clippers.
and I are on the same page. You're selling. I'm with Fezzi on that one there. But look at Jimmy Butler, what he's done since arriving to the Bay Area. They're first in free throw percentage, first in assists, tied for steals, offensive rebounds, turnovers, points off turnovers, points to the paint. You know what? Since Jimmy come aboard, they've been pretty good, as Steve Kerr touched on it in his pregame presser.
We're turning people over, getting a lot of deflections, and that's helping us score in transition. But, big differential right now in our ability to take care of the ball and then forcing our opponents into turnovers. So that's been big. But Draymond and Jimmy behind the play are both so smart. I would throw BP in there too. When those three guys are together, there's a really good defensive connection, good rotations, good feel for what's happening. And so it's been a good group.
To follow on that, as it pertains to reducing your turnovers on offense, obviously Jimmy plays a role in that. But what have you noticed within the group from a decision-making standpoint in terms of the passes you guys are making that are reducing turnovers?
Yeah, I think Jimmy is having an impact on the rest of the guys, and we're hammering home the point of how important it is. We're number one in the league in turnover percentage the last 10 games, so even the few games before we got Jimmy factors in. But I think Jimmy's play is contagious. The footwork, the constant, solid decision making over and over again. The impact that can have on a game is pretty dramatic.
Jonathan Kuminga, he's been out a while, right? Missed the last 24 games. since suffering that right ankle sprain against the Grizzlies in early January. He's out tonight against the Orlando Magic, but he has been scrimmaging. However, the Warriors will be cautious with the 22-year-old Jonathan Kuminga, who's averaging over 20 points and 6 rebounds in his previous 15 games, shooting 48% from the floor and 40 from three. He was playing his best basketball of his career. And this is a great asset to have coming back to a roster that's rolling right now. So, Mully, I know you got to check him out in practice the other day. I'm taking your word for it. I heard he looks phenomenal right now, and it's just a matter of time before he hits the court again.
Well, most importantly, Bonnie, what you just said, he was playing his best basketball before he got injured his ankle. He's a 22-year-old dynamic athlete. He's going to be fine coming back in here. We've seen Jimmy Butler's impact on so many players. I think it's going to have as big an impact on Jonathan Kuminga. Number one, for decision-making. In the half court, this team is much more organized than it has been the last 3 seasons. When Jimmy Butler gets that ball in the mid-post, the decision-making on when to cut, when to space, when to screen is so obvious now because everything's in front of you. Jimmy Butler gets that ball, faces the basket, and commands either a double team, and then you know exactly what to do next. So I think it's going to help Jonathan Kuminga's decision-making on all those things that he needs to do in the half court. And I think in the full court, he can get out there and be his dynamic, athletic self. So I think this transition should be as seamless for him as it has been for Jimmy Butler.
Well, the rich get richer because the Warriors right now are playing incredibly well. I will stick with the defensive end. When you have Jonathan Kuminga with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green on the floor at the same time, that is a formidable force on the defensive end against any team. We just talked so much about the playoffs and how the Warriors are looking to make a run. Well, if you have all three of those guys, you play small, but you're big at those positions. Jimmy Butler has a matchup advantage. Draymond Green can have a matchup advantage defensively right there. And Jonathan Kuminga, how many guys can stay in front of JK? What positions? The 3s, 4s? And J.K. was ability to cut to the rim. Jimmy Butler's and Draymond Green's playmaking ability. These are all things that can really help and can gel together. But I'm going to put the onus on Steve Kerr because when you have so much talent, your job is to try to figure out how you can put all those guys together. And right now, they're still trying to figure out all the different parts that work together. Putting J.K. is going to put that rotation in flux again. And the Warriors, I think it's a good problem.
And, Bob, you brought it up a lot. I think they've addressed the stretch 5 with Quentin Post.
Right.
And when he gets his minutes, they have that figured out. Jonathan Kuminga defensively, keeping those straight line drive guards like Andrew Wiggins did. That's going to be his main responsibility defensively.
Point of attack defense. He could fill that role, and we've seen him do it in the past. So when it comes to stock watch with the Warriors, I think I'm buying. I think all three of us are buying when it comes to the Warriors. But the Magic, they need a win. They'll need a big night from their young superstar, Paolo Banchero, to slow down the streaking Dubs. We'll dissect this game next on Warriors Pre.